Happening now, Congressman Tom Reed says a deal on the next stimulus package is closer than we think. We speak with him next. Plus, we preview what's to come during tonight's state assembly debate in Jamestown.
Well, it's going to be a mix of clouds and sunshine through the day, but sun is going to prevail tomorrow, and we've got a warm-up coming for the weekend. I'll talk about it next. The news at 1 o'clock starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. A man has been taken into custody following a shooting last night here in Jamestown. Jamestown police say 45-year-old Blake Smith allegedly threatened to kill a woman living at a Pomfret Street address before coming into the location in person and then firing a handgun. Police say in addition to the female victim, the incident happened in front of an 11-year-old boy. Officers say Smith, a New York State parolee, was arrested after fleeing the area in a vehicle. Smith is charged with aggravated harassment, menacing, and endangering the welfare of a child. He is also currently waiting a charge on his parole violation. Police say Smith is in Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment and will likely be committed to the Chautauqua County Jail pending a parole hearing. No injuries were reported during the incident last night. Well, Congressman Tom Reed says a COVID-19 relief and stimulus package is a lot closer to being reality than people realize, and that negotiators need to step forward and renew the push for negotiations. Reed, in a conference call yesterday, says he spent all night Tuesday working the telephones to implore lawmakers to get back to the table. While President Trump has offered to sign a standalone bill to give $1,200 stimulus checks to people, Reed says the government shouldn't surrender the idea of finishing the package.
I encourage the president and others to just take a deep breath, stand down, and take a look at the bigger picture and just say, hey, look, maybe there's an opportunity here to do something that's right for the American people. And just keep working the package and working the phone and working our relationships and our friendships to try to be part of a voice that's going to do what is right here, and that is getting a deal done for the people back home.
He says there are some differences regarding aid to local and state governments, but thinks there's room for movement on the issue. He went on to say citizens will not be happy if they see money being spent on non-COVID related issues. Now, one key concern among some lawmakers is whether those receiving unemployment should receive more money than they made while working. Reed predicts the Problem Solvers Caucus will be a vital part of that solution. Well, the 10th COVID-19 related death was reported in Cattaraugus County last night. The Cattaraugus County Health Department says a 97-year-old man developed respiratory failure and was unable to overcome his illness despite aggressive medical treatment. Now, this is the second COVID-19 related death reported this week in Cattaraugus County and the fifth death reported between both Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. Health officials also reported 9 new cases of COVID-19 in Chautauqua County and 7 in Cattaraugus County yesterday. Well, the first and only vice presidential debate of 2020 is now in the books. This particular debate taking a bigger role than in previous elections given the health and ages of both presidential candidates, particularly as President Trump continues to recover from coronavirus. Camila Burnell is in Salt Lake City with some key takeaways from last night's showdown between Vice President Mike Pence and Democrat Senator Kamala Harris.
Last night's debate is now more relevant than ever, with President Trump saying that he will not participate in the next virtual debate. What we saw last night could have been the last time where these two campaigns come face to face before the election.
Though a notably more civil and substantive affair than last week's presidential debate, the face-off between vice presidential candidates Mike Pence and Kamala Harris was still contentious.
He interrupted me, and I'd like to just finish.
The candidates pulling no punches on key issues like climate change, foreign relations, and health care.
If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition,
Thank you,
they're
Senator
coming
Harris.
for you.
Obamacare was a disaster.
But from the start, the plexiglass barrier highlighted a huge issue of the campaign, COVID-19. Harris zeroing in on the pandemic's impact.
210,000 dead people in our country. Over 7 million people who have contracted this disease. 1 in 5 businesses closed.
And challenging Pence on the strategy going forward.
Today, they still don't have a plan. They still don't have a plan. Well, Joe Biden does.
Pence, however, echoing President Donald Trump's narrative of success.
He suspended all travel from China. That decision alone by President Trump bought us invaluable time.
As the coronavirus looms over the election, the Commission on Presidential Debates announcing Thursday that the second presidential debate slated for next week in Miami will now be virtual. The Biden campaign agreeing to the change, but President Trump is telling Fox News he will not participate.
I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about.
And the Trump campaign will hold a rally instead of that virtual event next week. They say the president will have tested negative a number of times before that event, but the president's doctors have not expressed that level of confidence publicly. Reporting in Salt Lake City, I'm Camila Bernal. Back to you.
All right, Camila, thank you. President Trump says instead of the debate, he plans to hold a Make America Great Again rally. Well, the need for skilled workers was highlighted by officials during a Manufacturing Day proclamation here in Jamestown this morning. Leaders with SUNY JCC hosted several government and business officials at the college's Manufacturing Technology Institute on Falconer Street. The Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Todd Tranum says in times of economic turmoil, the manufacturing industry and the people who work there are credited with strengthening economies. He says as society continues to move through this pandemic, manufacturing is one of the key factors in keeping the economy intact. However, Tranum says the need for a strong workforce could hinder the success of the industry.
It's incumbent on all of us to continue to spread the message, to our kids, to our neighbors, to our friends about what we have here in terms of a manufacturing base, the diversity of that manufacturing base, the importance of that manufacturing base, and the great career opportunities and job opportunities in manufacturing here in Chautauqua County and throughout our region.
Now, throughout the years, SUNY JCC has developed a vast field of studying manufacturing. The college offers programs from welding technology to computer-aided design. Initiatives like Dream It, Do It, STEM Wars have engaged high school students from around the area as well. Specifically, that annual event aims to show young people benefits of working in the field and hopes to inspire them to further their education and work here in the community. Well, we thank you for joining us here for WNY News Now at 1 o'clock today. Good to see Mike, Jessica, Lisa, Sean, Cindy, and Riva as well. Hopefully everyone is having a great day, and our time is pushed back a little bit today due to a power outage. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us now. And Dakota, it was a little surprising because it was like, what, 12:01 or
Yes.
12:12?
Yes.
We were through the first process. How the show works is we're not actually live. There's that kill switch that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So our broadcast barely made it to that. And here we are at 1 o'clock. It's something as simple as a breaker. So knock on wood, we're here.
Yeah, I mean, it was so interesting because we were all set and ready to go. We were getting ready to go,
and then
we were going live, and then all of a sudden it just was like we saw blank everywhere on the monitors, and it was just like,
but the lights
what
were
happened
still
here?
on, which is the craziest thing because those take the most power. So I who knows? You know what? Technology sometimes it's great. It really is.
Yep.
Only when it works.
Only when it works. And electricity is also technology as well. But I mean, I guess it was technology back when Edison or Ben Franklin
I
came
consider
up with it,
electricity technology.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's a necessity piece of of technology. Anyway, here's a live look over Findlay Lake, and the cloud cover is really going to be the story today, but there's going to be some pockets of sunshine today, so don't you worry about that. Now, the radar, this is a composite image, and I'm going to tell you why here, because as we've been telling you all week long, the Buffalo radar at the airport is actually down for about 1 week while they do some upgrades to the radar. So this is a composite image. We're using 3 radars, Cleveland State College and 1 out of Toronto, to stitch this image together. So that's why it doesn't look as high. So that's why it doesn't look as high resolution as it normally does, because you're looking at different levels of the radar and multiple radars at that. But nothing going on today, so it is going to be dry out there today. But this is the bigger problem as we go down the road. New drought monitor updated today pulls this moderate drought further to the west. So now portions of Chautauqua County and Warren County is now under a moderate drought, and a dry condition continues for the rest of western New York. So we do need rain, ground soil relatively dry, and our best chance of rain really is going to be Saturday, and even that, it's only a scattered chance. 62 is the high yesterday, 43 is where we started the day, 83 and 25 are the record highs and lows for this date set at the airport. So through the afternoon today, partly to mostly sunny, an overall pleasant day, not as breezy as it was yesterday, but much cooler, 50 on the hills, 63 at the Lake Erie shoreline with a northwest wind. Now we do warm up a little bit going into Friday and Saturday, a small rain chance, and then next week, yeah, that's going to be a question. We'll talk about it in a few. Justin?
All right, Dakota, looking forward to it. Thank you. The candidates for New York State's 150th Assembly District will face off for the first time during a debate in Jamestown tonight. Republican incumbent Assemblyman Andrew Goodell and Democratic challenger Christina Cardinelli are partaking in a 60-minute debate at the Reggie Center for the Arts. The debate will be moderated by WRFA's Jason Sample and involve questions from participating media members, WJTN's Terry Frank, and myself. There will also be an opportunity for each candidate to ask one question to each other. Now, although closed to the public, the debate will be live streamed right here on WNY News Now's 24-hour streaming network starting at 7 o'clock tonight and on WRFA at 107.9 FM. Well, the U.S. government reports another 840,000 people filed for first-time jobless benefits last week on a seasonally adjusted basis. That's down from the week before, but still higher than some economists expected. Now, it's a pandemic low, but it's a 4-time-year high before the pandemic. Now, here's a caveat. California numbers are actually just an estimate here. That's because the state paused the processing of initial claims for a second week in a row to work on its benefit backlog and fraud protection. Meanwhile, more than 464,000 people filed claims for pandemic unemployment assistance. The PAU, as it's called, is for workers who aren't eligible for regular benefits such as the self-employed. Now, 1.3 million people filed regular and PAU first-time claims on an unadjusted basis last week. Continued claims were down more than experts expected. Those numbers dropped to 11 million. Well, coming up next, the latest on the effort to make the city of Jamestown government a little more transparent. And later, more on how to keep those kiddos safe during Halloween. Stay with us as WNY News Now rolls along.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
As a former county executive, I know exactly the challenges and opportunities that we have here in Chautauqua County. That's why I'm very proud to support PJ Wendell for county executive. His knowledge, his experience, and his leadership are exactly what we need at this moment in time. I would ask you all to please support PJ Wendell for county executive.
Wendell has the experience, he's got the leadership, and he's got the knowledge and ability.
One of the most important characteristics of a successful county executive is being able to surround themselves with the right people for the right situation. And that is exactly what PJ Wendell has done. Having direct experience in county government is absolutely critical, and no one should start out as county executive with having no experience at all with county government. So PJ Wendell brings that experience both as a long-term legislator and a former chairman of the legislature. He has my 100% support.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
For the past 9 years, I've been a prosecutor right here in Chautauqua County, fighting to keep this community safe. My family lives here with me in Fredonia, and I grew up in Sherman, New York. Fighting to make sure that these communities stay safe is so very important to me. We have the highest caseload of any county in this state, and as your district attorney, I'm dedicated to making sure that each case gets handled the right way for not only the victims, but for the people that live in this county. I'm fully invested in this community, and I'm fully invested in this community's future. Vote Patrick Swanson for Chautauqua County District Attorney.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist says his administration is working with the company Nextdoor to digitize FOIL requests and responses. Sundquist's comments came during this week's City Council work session. The mayor says the city has received 150 FOIL requests this year, in an increase which he says is partially due to the change in laws regarding the release of police discipline records. Now, City Clerk Jennifer Williams says the utilization of Nextdoor will simplify the process for the city.
When the requester submits their request, they'll instantly get notification that we've received it. We will get a message letting us know that we have a pending request, which we can then electronically send to the department that it would affect, and then we would get the response back from that department. It also kind of starts the clock because we have 20 days to provide the result of the FOIL once we've established that we received the request. So it'll cut out on a lot of mail time, a lot of letter generating, and should really streamline the process.
Now, Sundquist says the services will be free to the city. In case you don't know what a FOIL request is, it's a Freedom of Information Law request that allows citizens and members of the media to apply for information from the city. Usually the requests have to be very specific in order to obtain the information. Well, the CDC is urging Americans to celebrate Halloween safely to limit the exposure and slow the spread of COVID-19. But many families are still wondering how this holiday will look this year, and there are ways you can take part in the fun still. Mandy Gaither explains more in today's Health Minute.
In guidelines released by the CDC, door-to-door trick-or-treating runs a high risk when it comes to the coronavirus. But for some parents, letting go of a tradition can be hard.
And I think the most important part for us is trying to get some sense of normalcy, but also reducing risk.
If you do plan to get dressed up, the CDC says don't substitute a Halloween mask for a cloth mask unless it's made of 2 or more layers of breathable fabric covering your mouth and nose without gaps. And don't wear a costume mask over a cloth mask. The CDC says it can be dangerous because it could make it hard to breathe. Instead, consider using a Halloween-themed cloth mask. When it comes to handing out candy, pre-packaged baggies may have a lower risk of spreading the virus compared to children going door to door, according to NC State Food Safety Specialist Benjamin Chapman.
As opposed to all hands going into a bowl, or more risky, someone actually placing food, candy or treats directly into a bag.
Chapman says food and food packaging have a low risk of virus transmission.
And really the best risk management that kids can do and parents can do is just washing hands after handling the packaging before eating.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. In addition to wearing a cloth mask and washing your hands, the CDC says to limit contact with commonly touched surfaces and to continue to participate in social distancing on Halloween. Well, an app that's usually for trick-or-treaters can now be downloaded and used by families looking for safer ways to celebrate the holiday. Nextdoor's Treat Map has been up and running since October 1. The app is often used to find out which homes are passing out candy and the haunted houses in your neighborhood. But this year, the company says it's added a new feature for families looking to celebrate and social distance. The map will now show which homes plan to display Halloween decorations. That way, families can drive by and enjoy the spooky decor. Some homes will also participate in a costume wave parade. That's when you wave hi to your neighbor while wearing your favorite costume. Well, there is something hiding behind Apple's mask emoji. It's a smile. Apple has reportedly redesigned its mask-wearing emoji. According to Emojipedia, it now matches its current smiling face emoji, right down to the identical eyebrows and rosy cheeks. Now, before, the mask emoji had a more sad look. Apple has not said why it decided to go with a more cheerful design. The newer, happier mask emoji is expected to hit the public soon with Apple's iOS 14.2 release. Certainly, it does look like a little bit happier. And I remember we had a whole segment back in, I think it was early May, about smiling through your mask. And we were instructed to put a clean, sanitized pencil or pen between the teeth. You remember this? And we would have the mask on. And it was a good time. And why not? It's the more smiles. I mean, it's a lot of people complain about the mask, but at this point, here we are. What are we going to do? Good to see Albert. Good to see James, Kim, Kayla, and Steve as well. Let us know what you guys think of these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love connecting. And Dakota, you know, Halloween, it's so up in the air, and I think now people are finally coming up to a decision. Well, I'm either going to go and see what houses are open. No, I'm going to stay home and do that. You know, honestly, for me, I think I'm just going to stay home and eat all the candy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, at my house, we have put up some decorations. We have a dragon in our front.
Your mom is really good at decorating.
Yes, she is. And I'll be wearing my Radar Echo shoes. But speaking about the mask thing, I can tell you why Apple changed it. There was an article written in the tech media back probably in March or April saying that Apple should change the mask emoji because it makes it look sad that you're wearing a mask. And it was a whole rant about a famous tech writer. I'm not going to say who and what publication, but it became kind of like a big deal in the tech industry. And when I read it, I'm like, do these tech reporters not have anything else better to do with their time? It's an emoji, but I guess that's why Apple changed it.
I guess so. I mean, it's not bad. I think it looks good. I don't always pay attention to the emoji. I've been sending the gender neutral emoji, the shaking my head, because they moved the one I normally send over one, and I didn't even realize the difference. As crazy as that sounds. Maybe it's just because I type so fast and I barely read what I type sometimes. So.
Right. Jay can do a whole story on his phone.
Real quick. I'm so good. It's kind of scary how much time I spend on
I need device. A physical keyboard. Me and Rory are old school.
Yeah.
We like the keyboards.
You can hear Rory in the newsroom typing away. He hits that thing. So.
Give us the keyboard. Speaking of keyboards, hey, how about this beautiful picture of the sun going down over Lake Erie? Sean Sweatman, who pilots the Storm Interceptor, always gives us some amazing photos. And look at the waves out on Lake Erie. And again, it was a windy day yesterday, so the winds were whipping across Lake Erie. So if you have any pictures or videos of the weather, the First Defense weather page on Facebook and Hunters WX on Twitter is how you get it to us. And please make sure you use the hashtag MyLocalWX. And boy, speaking of the winds, how about this? 52 miles per hour was the peak wind gust at the Wellsville Airport, 43 in Delavan, 40 Randolph, 39 Clymer, 38 Olean, 37 Fredonia, and 35 officially at the Jamestown Airport. So it was a breezy day yesterday. So at my house, Essentially on my side of town, all the Halloween decorations were blowing all over the place. But at least the winds have calmed down for today. High pressure right there over Columbus, Ohio. That is going to be what is going to be bringing us our weather over the next couple of days. Cold front has swept on through. That's why it's chillier today, because we have that cold front that has swept on through. So what we're looking at right now is current temperatures right now. 53 here in town, 52 Mayville, 56 Fredonia, 58 in Dunkirk, 60 over in Erie, 54 over in Randolph, and Olean finally cracked 50 degrees as of 1 o'clock. As of noon hour, they were still in the 40s. So here's what's coming up here. So today's the last day of the chillies. For now, sunshine is going to continue on Friday. More sunshine, though, on Friday than we're going to have today. A nice warm up over the weekend, and we are keeping our eyes on Hurricane Delta. And here's the latest information on Delta for you, because not only is this going to be a big deal for the U.S. Gulf Coast, this is back up to a Category 2 again. It was a Category 1 yesterday. But look at this. You can see an eye wall structure right there. This thing has rapidly intensified once again, peak winds of 105 miles per hour. And here's the current forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. This is going to be coming into Louisiana once again, a area that was already hit by an area that was already devastated, just about a month or so ago. But notice how the Hurricane Center has it dissipating over Tennessee. Even though the actual center is going to dissipate, there is some indications that the remnants are going to ride up the northeast, and we may get some tropical rain in here either Monday or Tuesday. That's still to be determined. And again, model guidance isn't exactly clear with that. And as I told you during the first weather segment, Buffalo radar is down starting today, probably all the way until next Thursday. Again, the radar receiving some nice upgrades as a part of the service life extension. And again, these radars are getting, I guess, senior citizens, and they need a little bit of help to keep them working over the next 20 or so years. Next 7 days of your life, I hope they're wonderful, and they're brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 68 degrees tomorrow, sunny, but it's not going to be 48 degrees though. 68, 72 on Saturday. Small chance for a shower, but I think the majority of the day should be dry. Sunday, mostly sunny. Monday and Tuesday, we should, again, there's a chance for a couple of those showers with the remnants of Delta. And Wednesday, we go back down again, 57. We'll take a break. Be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
Hi, I'm George Borrello, and I'm proud to serve as your senator for New York's 57th Senate District. In fact, in my first year, I've passed many pieces of legislation, as well as helping people and businesses in these challenging times. From fighting for a safe, common-sense reopening of our state's economy during the COVID-19 pandemic, to continuing the push for the repeal of the state's flawed criminal justice changes, which have made us all less safe, I am working hard for you every day as your state senator. Your vote will help me continue my mission to boost New York's economy, struggling from the COVID shutdown, and for small businesses not just to survive, but thrive. I will also continue to hold the government accountable by reviewing policies that led to the tragic nursing home deaths statewide. I'm proud to represent our beautifully diverse region, and I will be honored to have your vote on Tuesday, November 3rd, so that I can continue my work fighting for you. It's not about rhetoric, it's about results.
Paid for by Borrello for Senate.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Hey, welcome back. Get ready for some comfort food because today is National Pierogi Day. You can celebrate by ordering pierogies at a Polish restaurant, make your own, or host a Polish-themed potluck meal. That sounds good. You can post to social media with the hashtag National Pierogi Day. The semicircular Polish dumplings are made of unleavened dough that's boiled and then baked or even fried in delicious butter. That's my grandma right there. They're stuffed with all kinds of yummy potato and cheese, but there are endless possibilities too. Pierogi desserts, if you haven't tried those, are stuffed with fruit and can be covered with maple syrup, chocolate sauce, whipped cream, or apple sauce. so good. Happy National Pierogi Day, everybody. We thank you so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. And Dakota, whether you like them, you hate them, or you've never tried them before, I really highly recommend it, because the butter pierogies, those will get to you if you're not careful. No?
No. But I do like the, the Picasso donuts. I can't ever pronounce it, but they're basically Polish donuts.
Yeah, they're delicious.
I like those.
They're good.
Yes, with the strawberry.
Oh my gosh, they're really good.
Yes.
So, well, I don't know why they end with food. And even today, we're an hour off from our lunch.
Yes.
I'm even more hungry than I usually am.
Yes. My stomach was growling, so if you heard a little gurgling, that was me. I'm hungry.
We leave you with this. It's starting to really change out there over Chautauqua Lake. Of course, we remind you, I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock right here live on WNY News Now for the State Assembly debate. And then we're back here tomorrow with our TGIF edition at News. Hope to see you then.